What's going on, everyone? This is Jay from Premier Gaming Entertainment, and it's about that time. I'm pretty excited. This is going to be my first official video for the year. I know I made a couple of videos about Michigan football in the last week, but this is going to be my first video as far as for games go. This is going to be my predictions video for the first game of the season versus Notre Dame. And what I wanted to do is make it a little bit different than my typical video where I'm just sitting in the video and you just see me and I'm talking and giving my opinion. I'm still going to do that, but what I'm going to do is make it a little bit different, seeing as this is, a renewal of a rivalry between us and Notre Dame. I wanted to actually share with you some pictures of a game that I actually personally went to a few years back when I actually went to Notre Dame to watch them play. So I wanted to share that with you guys while I do my predictions video for today. So anyways, I'm going to cut away from this and just show you the pictures while I do my predictions video. So anyways, what I wanted to talk about today is how I feel about this game for this Saturday coming up. This is going to be, to me, a showcase of basically, hopefully it's going to be a coming out party for Michigan football. And the reason I say that is this is year 4 under Jim Harbaugh. And basically, I feel as though him and this program have something to prove. With the first couple of years, I honestly feel as though we overachieved. Year three, I knew we were going to struggle, but we kind of underachieved. So this is, to me, is going to be the year. And if it's going to be the year, this game is going to be pivotal. And it's going to be basically a make it or break it as far as whether or not we're going to be successful for this whole season. Historically, for when we were playing Notre Dame up until we stopped, typically whoever won this game between the two teams ended up going on to have a really good season. Whoever lost it ended up having a real crappy season. So, I think the year, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the year that we last went to South Bend and we got blown out and got shut out. I think that was the year that we went like 5-7, and Brady Hoke ended up getting fired. So, like I said, historically, whoever wins this game between these two teams ends up having a good year, and whoever loses ends up having a crappy year. So, pretty much, this is make it or break it for Michigan as far as the season goes. I know I've seen some sports experts say, oh, don't worry about it. Even if they lose this game, they can still, win out and make it to the playoffs, win the Big Ten. I mean, all that sounds nice in theory, but honestly, this is a game that they have to have. They have pretty much the toughest schedule in all of the nation, so any game that they lose is just going to compound. So that they have to win this game. So with that, I'm going to just kind of break down the things that they feel are going to be keys for Michigan to win this game. And first off, I'm going to start off on the offensive side of things. One of the most important things that we're going to have to see from Michigan in order to win this game is how is their offensive line? Has it come together? Is it still in disarray? Has it improved? That is going to be so important to the success of Michigan, not only for this game, but for the whole season. I'll be honest with you, for as long as I can remember, regardless of the talent or potential talent or whatever the case may be, the offensive line has just been it's been a struggle. I mean, that's the best and nicest way I could put it. There's been many years where they had the talent, but just couldn't put it together. And it just, you could see the difference on the offensive end, giving up sacks, having the quarterback running for his life. Uh, this will be very pivotal to see what's going to happen as far as because let's face it, quarterback play is not going to be good as long as the offensive line has holes in it. So, if there's new hiring for the offensive line coach that we got, I feel as though this is going to be a huge step in the right direction as far as getting us more consistency, not only in the running game but also in the passing game as well. So that is pretty much one of, if not the most important things that I want to see. The second thing, which probably has something to do with the first thing, is improved wide receiver play. The wide receivers last season were, a real struggle. A lot of drops, a lot of bad route running, and basically the wide receivers were part of the huge letdown. Now, part of that probably coincides with poor quarterback play, but I think there were times where the wide receivers just let the quarterback down. Like, there's times where there was just key drops, not only by the wide receivers, but even the tight ends too. But wide receiver play last season was just absolutely poor. And the only way that we're going to be a successful offense is if we can get our wide receivers to get more involved, start scoring touchdowns, getting deep down the field, moving the chains, and just spreading the field. I think part of the problem last season was that because there was no threat of any type of wide receiver play, defenses were able to pack it in, which killed our running game for the most part. And defenses weren't scared of Michigan's offense. They weren't scared of Michigan going down the field. So hopefully that'll be something that is incorporated into the game plan this year, so that it's not predictable. It's not run the ball 2 times and then try to pass it on 3rd down, because they did a whole lot of that crap last season, and it just put a damper in everything. It made it difficult for the offense as a whole to do anything. So I'm interested to see if the wide receivers can step up this year and be way more of a threat than they were last season. And the third thing that I'm really keyed up on is seeing how Shea Patterson plays. I want to see whether or not he's the real deal, whether or not he's going to be the difference maker for this Michigan offense. Like I said, pretty much his play obviously is going to coincide with numbers 1 and 2 that I just mentioned. They're all interrelated, they're all interwoven, so I understand that. But hopefully he's that X factor that can get the offensive going. Obviously it's going to help if the offensive line plays well and gives them time to throw the football. And it's going to help if, on running plays that they can open up holes, which will soften up the defense for, play action or whatever the case may be. But I'm interested to see how Shea Patterson plays in his first game. I know that, remember the first game that Jake Rudock played, that was kind of a shaky game versus Utah. And I remember the first game that Wilden Spate played, I think it was his first pass attempt, he threw an interception. So, the first game is always the most shaky because you really haven't played any competition other than yourselves, so you don't really know where you're at, and it's hard to evaluate. But I'm interested to see if Jim Harbaugh really has his quarterback. I know that's been part of the problem, is that for the most part he's had average to mediocre quarterback play. And that's no disrespect to the quarterbacks that have played so far, but they haven't had any top rated elite talented quarterbacks playing, in his system. So I'm interested to see how good he is and how much of a factor he will be for the offense this season. So as far as is for the offense, for the defense, I'm going to be interested to see with the new additions to the defense, how much of a difference that's going to make, if it's going to make them even more stout than they were last season. Defense did well. There were a few games where they let it get out of hand, but all in all, I felt the defense was solid last season. A lot of it had to do with bad offense that put more pressure and had the defense on the field way too much. So the offense doing their thing will definitely help the defense to get rest. So more than anything else, one of the key things I'm going to be interested in watching for the defense is going to be the safety play. More than anything else, the safeties to me were the weakest part of their defense last season. Especially in coverage, run defense. There were situations where they were out of position, which led to a few touchdown runs and long, huge chunk plays because they were out of position. But the biggest problem was always on their covering people. So I'm interested to see how well the safeties have improved and whether or not they're, hopefully they've caught up to the rest of the defense and they're not just a weak point. Because other than that, I don't think that there's any issues as far as the defense goes. They got better at linebacker, younger, faster. I think the two corners are one of the best, if not the best, tandem in all of college football. Now, I'm just saying that. I could be biased on that, obviously. But with David Long and Lavert Hill, you got two studs at corner. But like I said, I'm just interested to see how the safeties are going to do. Overall for this game, I feel as though that Michigan is going to win this game. It's not going to be an easy win. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. Typically Michigan is going to South Bend anyways. Hasn't really put up a lot of points like that. Last time they really put up any decent amount of points was actually the game that I went to, which I'm showing the pictures for right now. But other than that, I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. But I think that we're going to win by at least a touchdown. I think it'll be something like 17-10 or 20-14, something like that. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game, not a whole lot of scoring. Defenses both trying to impose their will, but I think that Michigan will come on top. Like I said, probably about 20-14 or 17-10, something like that. So, anyways, that's it for the video. If you liked the video, definitely feel free to leave a like on the video. Try to share this video with as many people as possible. And get the discussion going about Michigan football. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about the game. Are you confident? Do you think we're going to win? Do you feel that we might lose going into South Bend? Let me know how you think about the pictures I showed for the video. And just let me know how you feel about the video as a whole. And if you like my content, definitely subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get the channel to grow even more, and we'll definitely just go from there. Anyways, thank you for watching the video, and go blue.